Hello, friends. Hi, how are we today? I hope we are all doing well. I am coming at you with a plan with me for March 6th through the March 12th, and I am using the Great Things Take Time kit from Sweet Tea Sticker Co. You guys know I love her kits. And without further ado, let's just get into it. I had debated waiting to get this one up, but you guys know that I have been trying really hard to get videos up for a really long time now, and despite the fact that I have pneumonia, I feel like it's okay that I'm doing this. I don't think I sound too bad, but when I get the playback, you know, I suspect that I will feel differently. Anyway, I'm starting with the bottom washi. I love the fact that Christy has two full strips that go all the way across. That saves me from dealing with the bottom part. I did struggle this week. I know I had to do a scatter, and I knew kind of what I wanted to do with the scatter, but I was trying to figure out the headers and what I was going to do. I love the glitter headers that came with the kit, but I'll be saving them for another time. I really wanted to use the beautiful floral deco headers, and I liked using the to-do headers just to add a little bit of interest. And I did the same thing that I did last week, which was just pull up the headers on the top a little bit so that they touched the date covers, which means there's not as much white space at the top, which means it's a nicer look. But also because the bottom washi, I just laid it down instead of cutting it down or anything, or only using one strip, just because the bottom is a little bit miscut in my planner. Yeah, here I was struggling with my to-dos. I don't know. This base was a mess. It's weird, though. It felt like it did go by really quick to lay it down, mainly because I'm so familiar with Christy's kits. I feel like it was an easy peasy thing to do. Then I just followed the pattern of the boxes on the page to lay down my full boxes after this. I had added in my hockey stickers as I always do, and what I wanted to do for the 2 days that there were hockey this week was to put the full boxes right on top of them and then just have the empty space on the top to use for some of my day by days. Like some of them I only had 4 things in a day. It was a very low key week. You will see on my sidebar when we get there that Owen, my older one, had eardrops, and my little kid, Walty, had eye drops. So, a few weeks ago, I was telling you that, like, my kid had his first ear infection, and that started, like, the reign of sickness, and then it just kept going on and on and on. It doesn't stop here. There's a couple weeks of calm, and then we get into, like, everyone else sick, and yeah, we'll get into that when we get into it. Anyway, I don't really have too much to talk about other than the fact that Oh, hello. Do you want to be part of this video too? Are you having a fun time? He's currently in his Jolly Jumper being a fun little guy, having a fun time. Just jumping away, having a good time, which is nice. So, as I said, you'll just see me put the full boxes down and then the rest of my to-do headers, and then we will get into the day by day. I think I have to also do the sidebar, but that was a really easy sidebar. Christy's kits always come with it this week, and instead of doing the 4 habit trackers, I just did the 2 for the boys, eye drops and eardrops. I added in a scalloped box, only because I wasn't really sure what to add in. And then obviously I do my meal tracker, which I went back a couple weeks ago and looked at, oh, hello, and looked at one of my meal trackers, and I was like, oh yeah, that's a meal I used to make. Why don't I make that anymore? So I will be going back and doing that again, because I really get inspiration from my own meal planning. Do people who actually put their meals in their sidebar, does anyone else go back and use that as like reference to say, oh, which meals did we have at this point? Because that, I feel like, is a good way for me to do things. It's been a little bit picky. My older kid has become a very picky eater, so It's just been tricky for us. Then I just put down the date covers, which I think I put down the numbers on them off screen. I just used my leftovers for that, which was really, really nice. I rarely, if ever, actually, I don't think I've ever bought date dots. I just use leftovers from kits, and usually it works out. These ones the numbers are a little bit different than the font, but it doesn't really matter all that much. And then I think here I'm just showing you what I have left over so far, and then I will pull in for my day by day. So on Monday, I used a Coffee Monsters Co. emoji to note that I was so very tired. My kid at this point had gone through his 4-month sleep regression. He is currently going through his 6-month sleep regression, so love that for us. Then I was trying to figure out how I wanted to mark the 2 TV shows that my husband and I always watch, and I ended up just using these cute little flags from the kit and layering Coffee Monsters Co. little TV icons over them to mark The Last of Us and Oak Island, and then another Coffee Monsters Co. Prescription to note that I picked up the eardrop prescription for Owen. And then I used the groceries icon from the kit to show that I went to Off the Cleaver just to get some stuff for dinner that night. Then I used a Sweetie Sticker Co. Olivia to show that we had gone to my mom's for a visit and dinner in Toronto. And then my kiddo puked on the way home, which was awful. And then I filmed my Sweet Tea Organization Part 1, which is up on my channel, and you guys should go check it out. And I will have Part 2 up shortly, actually. It's already filmed, I just have to actually do it. On Tuesday, I noted that I uploaded my organizational video and got it all scheduled. I went for a 3.5-kilometer walk with my kiddo, and then we went for my kiddo's 4-month vaccinations, which I used the Coffee Monsters Co. icon for that. And then I used a leftover phone icon to note that I had a long call with my dad that day. I call him every day, multiple times a day now, but before I called him once a day, and that was sort of just during the pandemic. Like, we never went more than a couple of days without talking, and then during the pandemic we got into the habit, and so I usually give him a call. And on Wednesday, I had an Amazon order, and I was so proud of myself this week because I actually remembered to write things in where I could before putting them down on the page, which was, oh my god, it just was such a lifesaver. So that's a Simply the Mess icon, and then I just did a small shop at the local grocery store close to me because we were out of food. And then I spent some time with my husband, which was really nice. And then we watched The Mandalorian together on the couch, and I used a Sweet Tea Sticker Co. TV icon for that, as well as a Mandalorian script from Magical Sticker Co. And then I used, I guess I'm just doing, oh yeah, when I laid this down, this is the week of Cricut stickers. I don't know what was going on with me. Everything was very crooked. So next up, after I laid down that Mandalorian script, my big kid and I went outside, and I used a custom from Teddy Plans Co. and we played outside for an hour and a half. And then I used another Coffee Monsters Co. emoji to show that my big kid and my little kid, but I don't have the sticker for that, we had like nice snuggles, all three of us together, which doesn't really happen all that often because my big kid Owen really only started liking his baby brother maybe a couple weeks ago at this point, so it was a nice change of pace. But then I had to note that my kiddo puked again, but I think he puked again because he ate too much of, I don't know, something of daycare, and he said he really wanted it. I can't remember what it was. He had like 3 pears or something. But he was sick, but it wasn't like, he wasn't feeling bad. He was like high energy, no fever, nothing. It was a one-time thing, and then he was feeling fine. So then I show you guys the completed first half of my week, which I've been trying to get better about because I know that sometimes I forget. And we just move directly into the second half of the week. So on Thursday, I just used the script from Sweet Tea Sticker Coat to note that I did daycare drop-off, and then I used, again, the laundry icon in the kit to note that I dealt with Mount Washmore. It was, oh boy, so much laundry. So much laundry. And I will say, if you ever get the icons in her shop, they are actually a bit smaller. The ones in the kit are a bit bigger. So if you're looking to get these icons, like the laundry one, they are usually smaller. And then I used a Mixie Cat stuff to note that I prepped aioli, because I was making a roasted garlic aioli. And then as a present to myself, I got Lululemon. I just got that crossbody fanny pack. I don't know what they're calling it, these crossbody bags. No, they're fanny packs. They're absolutely fanny packs, but I got one for my walks with my kiddo, and it's made such a difference. Then I used a Fox and Pip icon to note that I made aioli, and then I had a nap with my little kid, and I used a paper and milk Maru to note that I had a very early night that night. So I started Friday off same way as I started off Thursday, with a Sweet Tea Sticker Co. script, and an icon for daycare drop-off, and then I used a paper and milk Maru. These are my favorite cleaning Marus of all time, to note that I did a general tidy of the downstairs. It wasn't dirty, it just needed general tidy. And then I used a filming slate and an edit sticker from Sweet Tea Sticker Co. To note that I had edited the pen review, and the knife, spoon, and fork icon to note that I ordered my husband's birthday cake from Dairy Queen. He loves those pizza cakes. And Happy Mail from Paper and Milk for my Coffee Monsters Co. order. And then I used a Fox and Cactus Girl who's doing yoga to note that I did a 10-minute ab and core workout. On Saturday, we used a temper tantrum emoji from the Coffee Monsters Co. My kiddo had a lot of big emotions, like a lot. Then I used a play date icon from Fox and Pip to note that we went on a play date. It wasn't really a play date. It was more of like a get together at the mall close to our house with our friends, but they have come over nearly every weekend since, so that was really exciting. And then I used the cash icon from the kit to note that I went to Old Navy and picked up my kiddo some clothing. And then for some reason I just didn't grab an icon for that. We just did more outdoor play. And then I used a Olivia from Sweet Tea Sticker Co. to note that bedtime was an absolute nightmare that night. It was awful. So then I used on Sunday a custom icon from Teddy Plans Co. again to show that my husband and my kiddo were not feeling great. I think they were just overtired, to be perfectly honest. I don't remember. And we went to my dad's for brunch for 9:30 a.m. that day, and my sister and her boyfriend were there too because everybody has birthdays in March, so they all celebrated together. And then we had family time at home, just a really calm afternoon. And then we had toddler meltdowns. It stopped being a calm afternoon. It was wild. And then my husband and I bonded together over toddler trauma from meltdowns. And then finally, I just used the same Coffee Monsters Co. icon that I used at the beginning of the week to note that we watched The Last of Us that night on the day that it was shown. So that is my entire plan with me, and I loved it, and I don't know why I keep doing the wiggle. There's no foil. See you in the next video. Toodles!